What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Apex to Oval. This is episode, I believe, 13. I'm Alex. That is Jack. I'm not, yeah. Yeah?
I'm in one of those directions.
You are. I don't know what direction it'll put you in, so I just did both.
Yeah, fair
Today's
enough.
episode, we have two NASCAR stories. We have an Xfinity and Cup Series race recap from Talladega. We have our predictions, and that is it for today. As Jack has finals, I am getting ready for finals, and so we're just gonna do a light episode. Cause yeah, the next week we're also gonna do a light episode because I have finals that week. So, um, let's get into it. First NASCAR article: Joey Logano and Ryan Preece were disqualified from the Jack Links 500, which was the Talladega race. Ryan Preece's car was had three shims instead of two on its spoiler, and Logano was missing a spoiler bolt, causing them both to be disqualified. None of those teams will be appealing the disqualification. Sad to see. Anthony Alfredo, watch your back. They're coming for you next. According to Jack, that
They're
was
coming for the whole state of Connecticut.
they're coming for Connecticut, dude. Oh
This is
no.
bad.
Jack, like I find it so disappointing, that happened. Priest had probably his second best. Yeah, it would have tied for his best finish of the season. Just got skewed. So, Jack, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I mean, it's a tough look for RFK because it went from, I think the other two drivers finished before the disqualifications 36th and 38th. So now their highest finishing driver would be like 34th. Like 34th, 36th, 38th. That's RFK's weekend. Now obviously that's due to incident, right? Brad got, I still don't fully know what happened between him and Kyle Busch. And then honestly, I have no idea what Gregson was up to for the whole weekend. I barely noticed him. Or no, Gregson's at front row. I'm stupid. I'm thinking about Busher.
Gregson did
Yeah,
good. He was six or something
that's
like
why.
that.
Yeah, that's why I was sorry. I was thinking of the third car as him instead of Busher for some reason, and I was like, I thought I remembered him
Oh.
doing well. I don't know why he would have finished back there, but yeah, no, Busher. I don't remember seeing him at all. Um, but Preece was running well, and was up there fighting for the win, but not for long.
That was my
Apparently.
glorious king Logano.
Yeah, well, he was also crying on the radio.
Yeah, I got you a fun fact. This is a short. I'm gonna tell the story. I got into an argument with someone in a TikTok comment section, and I was like, I typed in someone's comment section like, you know, they're going for my Connecticutans, and then it said Joey and Preece got disqualified, and then someone was like, you know, Joey deserved it, Preece didn't, and I was like, Joey over your favorite driver, and they're like, I'm a Cindric fan. We won, you didn't, and then I said 3-0 championship wins.
Okay,
I just
fair
thought that
enough.
was fun, fun banter. I also have fought multiple people on the internet on Katherine Legge, but we'll get into that. Actually, right now,
What a great
as
segue.
yeah, as our second article is about Katherine Legge receiving death threats after her NASCAR starts. Let's be honest, everyone. It's not her fault. She's a good driver. Everyone else just sucks ass. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, she did nothing wrong in the past two races. Two people have wrecked her, and she's getting the blame, which is completely out of order, realistically, right? And the William Sawalich thing, dude, get out of NASCAR. You are a bum. Alright? You're not making it the cut. Leave. Uh,
That's crazy.
Almirola, though, good shit to you, bud, because you actually took responsibility for the crash like Sawalich didn't do. So good on you because it was your fault. Sawalich, go F yourself. No,
That's crazy.
I'm just, she shouldn't be getting death threats. She shouldn't be getting hate. Like, she's a veteran driver in multiple freaking series. She belongs in the. She belongs. Let's stop the narrative she doesn't belong and that she's not good enough. She belongs. she's good enough. She just doesn't have much time in these cars. Like, it's not hard to tell. Jack, what were your thoughts before I get myself in trouble?
I mean, Almirola clearly immediately took responsibility for that. Um, yeah, the only reason that people would, holy, sorry, something happened with my headphones. The only reason that people would go after her for that, is because she's a woman. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
right? But also, it's rough to see every race that she enters so far has kind of not gone well, right? And first time around, it was her fault. Since then, it hasn't been, but also, I don't know. There's only so clearly she has the races scheduled for the rest of the year, but if it keeps up like this, I wouldn't be shocked to not see her back after that. I mean, both because she's a veteran driver and she could be doing better things with her time than getting wrecked in the NASCAR B Series, and because, I don't know, at some point there are certain drivers that kind of have a nose for getting unlucky, and it's entirely possible that she can be one of them, even if it's, not her fault in any of these, like in the last two incidents.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. This sucks. Because you can tell she has some sort of, like, she has talent. Like, she's not doing terrible before she gets wrecked. Like, she's doing pretty damn good. And then just all of a sudden, another driver will end up just wrecking her. And it's like, she had no control over it. So, this time it was on Almirola's spotter, though. Not just on the driver. The spotter told, or Almirola's spotter told him that the lane next to him was clear. It was not. Katherine was right in that lane, and he just moved over and wrecked her out of the race along with himself. So
about 0% clear.
Yeah, zero. Like, it was clear. She, like, what? I don't. What's the spotter doing? What the spotter doing? Anyway, let's get on to Xfinity recap and Cup recap. So, for the Xfinity predictions, Jack, who did you have to win the race?
Austin Hill.
And I had Jesse Love. And if you watch the race, you saw a driver win. It was the most undeserving win I have ever seen in my life.
I don't know.
More undeserving than Harrison Burton's Cup ride last year.
Well, no. Hang on. Wasn't there a race earlier this year that Austin Hill won that was like truly the least deserving thing?
Yes, I think it was. I forget where it was, but it was the last lap collision with Sammy and.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin Hill. You have the opposite luck of Katherine Legge. You have the opposite, bud. You have the exact opposite. You're not getting wrecked. You're winning races when you shouldn't. Like, I don't understand it. If you couldn't tell, Austin Hill won the race for his third win of the season. Your remaining top 10 was Jeb Burton in second, Jesse Love in third, Justin Allgaier in fourth, Matt D. Benedetto in fifth, Anthony Alfredo, my Connecticut king, in sixth, Blaine Perkins in seventh, Harrison Burton in eighth, Sheldon Creed in ninth, and Daniel Dye in 10th. And your DNFs were Parker Retzlaff, William Sawalich, good, Ryan Sieg, Greg
Dedicated hater.
Katherine Legge, Eric Almirola, Jeffrey Earnhardt, and sadly Connor Zilisch, who deserved to win this race. Realistically, it was between him and Jesse for who deserved the race. Overall, I probably, although he led less laps, I probably would have given it to Connor Zilisch because he was in the lead until Jesse hit the back left of his car, which is a very vulnerable spot on super speedways. They are still friends. For the people who are watching who are like, oh my god, are they still friends? Because they are best friends. They are. It was confirmed by Jesse Love's media. I don't know what their title is, but like his media manager, I'm pretty sure is the title. But she owns a company, and
Bro's
Jesse's
doing some investigative reporting over here.
It was confirmed by her that they're still besties.
Of course they are. Realistically,
Um,
very few drivers let like incidents on track actually affect their friendships.
but I'm just letting everyone know because maybe like you would have thought friendship was
Yeah,
over. But
maybe.
no, no, they're still friends. Jack, what do you have any? I didn't even know there was another Earnhardt. I thought it was just Dale and Dale Jr. No, there's another Earnhardt. Jeffrey.
Yeah, he's like cousins.
Yeah,
He's like their cousin.
I believe that is
Um,
correct. They are cousins.
but yeah, he's. I guess is he not full time? Um,
I don't believe
Xfinity.
so.
It feels like he's been kind of a staple in the Xfinity series for a while, but that's probably just because when his name comes up, it's more recognizable than a lot of the other kind of back markers. Um,
That's just
but I think that the big controversy that we wouldn't have covered, since we did cover the leg incident, we, at least mostly covered Zilich and Love colliding towards the end, is that when the caution came out, oh, I see. Uh, when the caution came out, NASCAR obviously had to decide both when it came out and who was leading at that point. And they decided Austin Hill. I agreed with that assessment. I know real time, Alex, you didn't necessarily. You thought Burton might have been ahead.
yeah,
And I know Burton definitely thought he was ahead. So I don't know
yeah.
if you want to
He was
expand on
not.
that a little.
He was not. I kind of wish he was, but he wasn't. There's nothing really expand on. He looked like he was ahead from one camera angle. You look at the other camera angle, he was not ahead. Um,
Yeah.
at the caution. If the caution was a little bit earlier, though, he would have.
I think a lot of the problem with it is the angle that the TV camera was from, because they're,
Yeah.
like Hill, they're in a corner. Hill's higher up the banking, and if you're looking at it from behind, like all of these angles were, just because of where they each are, it looks like Burton is further ahead. But then you can kind of see even from that angle if you try to shift the perspective, which is like not an easy thing to just automatically do. That like if
Yeah.
you put it to like perpendicular to the track, then like Hill would have been ahead by a nose. Like I thought it was the right call, but I actually have no idea if there are people that are still upset about it. But I know Jeb Burton after
I,
the race was really unhappy
he was
immediately after getting out of his
pissed.
car.
Yeah, he was big mad. After
And
seeing the other angle, though, I wasn't mad. That the angle was fair. I did think the caution maybe could come out, a little earlier, but it is what it is. The caution comes out when the caution comes out. So,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I think
I
that they're
mean,
trying to avoid like remember from like I think Daytona and Atlanta, all the controversy about throwing the caution when they do, like throwing it too
oh
early,
yeah,
or I
yeah.
think they're trying to get more consistent about that, and so they were pocketing it until they knew they needed to. But
Here's the thing. I don't think they needed to, though. That's the thing. Like in my opinion, Zilich cleared everyone with that red. Like, yes, he went hard into the wall, but from what it looked like, there was no other like issues, so that you could have went to the finish line. But I
I mean,
mean,
it was a
again,
pretty hard hit, right?
it was a hard hit. I
I think
agree
the
with
issue is
that.
you got to get safety like people out there as quickly as possible
And that I
once you
agree
need
with.
safety stuff.
That I agree with. If it wasn't as hard of a hit, and they pulled the caution, I would have been pissed because
But I think
there.
that's why they
Other
don't
than that,
throw it as soon as they see someone sideways, right? Like
yeah. Well,
they
that
wait a little
yeah,
bit to see
his
if either it starts a chain reaction or if they got to go check on someone.
yeah. Well, that hit itself was nasty. That was like
Yeah.
Ray Lewis on any suspecting small white wide receiver. Like
What?
it was like that Ray Lewis hit when he broke the damn door that was bolted to the freaking frame, like in that one sports science episode. It was a big freaking hit.
Ray Lewis
Um,
mentioned?
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it was a big hit. On to the cup race. Jack, who do you have for the cup race?
I had Brad.
And
Um,
I had Ryan Blaney. And Jack, would you like to say what happened like 5 laps into the race?
so I still don't. I need to
Sorry.
go back and check. I still don't know what the actual like start of this was, because people
I
were
don't
going
know.
into the pits, right? And it seemed like Kyle Busch was right behind Brad Keselowski, and like Brad was checking up because people in front of him were pitting, and I think that Kyle Busch thought that that meant that Brad was pitting. So then he tries to get around Brad to the right. Brad is not in fact pitting, and so suddenly Kyle Busch is like right there next to him. Brad moves like in a little bit, where like Busch's move would not have made sense unless Brad was pitting. And they kind of take each other out there. And then guess who comes crashing into Brad as soon as he is heading back down the track, who is trying to kind of speed around to avoid the wreck?
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah?
Starts with an R, ends with a Y.
Ryan Blaney. No
Ryan
way.
Blaney.
But yeah, he I mean that took like the front left of Brad's car like clean off. His day was clearly ended. Blaney's day was pretty much over. He sat in the car. What?
Blaney was trying to keep going. I swear to
Well,
God,
yeah, he was speeding.
He kept trying.
He was trying to speed under it, and then yeah, he stayed in the car, like refused medical help, got towed to the garage, stayed in the car in the garage for a bit until the team eventually was like, yeah, we're screwed. It's not happening. Which, fair enough, but yeah, it was an unfortunate wreck. I wish I had better insight as to like who was truly at fault there, because it seemed more like a misunderstanding than anything with green flag stops.
R.I.P. Ryan Blaney.
Both of our picks.
Both the picks out within the first
Although,
5 minutes of the freaking race.
I will say, I said Brad, but that I wanted to pick an RFK car, and I'm pretty sure you also sort of generalized yours to Penske, and Penske RFK originally went 1-2. So, I think we'll take that, even though Preece got disqualified.
Yep.
And
we take it.
You know, even though Cindric is not Blaney or Logano.
Yeah. But yeah, that brings us to our winner, which was Austin Cindric. Your remaining top 10 was Larson, Byron, Gregson, Elliott, Hocevar, Bowman, Boba, Daniel Suarez, and Austin Dillon. And your DNFs were BJ McLeod. McLeod. Dude, where is that from, McLeod?
I don't know.
Kevin McLeod. Is it Kevin McLeod?
Oh, was he like the royalty-free music guy?
Yeah, Kevin McLeod, my freaking goat. Dude, one of these days I'm gonna put money. I'm just gonna put. We're gonna have like a podcast, and I'm gonna have the time to put all of his greatest hits onto one podcast. Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Ryan Preece, who disqualified, and Joey Logano, who disqualified. It was a good race. There was no big one, realistically, but at the end there wasn't.
I was gonna say I don't know necessarily good race.
I mean, good race as in there was no big one, but again, the big one does make it a good race. So
I think unfortunately that's the entertainment value at like a Talladega.
There was no big one. Next time, guys, let's get 3 big ones. 3 big booms. Boom, boom, boom. All right.
Because a lot of times either you're getting like a mileage race, a strategy race, but usually you're gonna get a big one that mixes up the order a bit. And here, the really like kind of only interesting part, because the entire third stage went green, was just the timing of the green flag pit stops, which, I mean, thanks to Ross Chastain being one ballsy individual, the Toyotas really did not make that work for themselves. Although Bubba did go from like 20th, like P20 to like P10 in like basically the last lap, which was pretty interesting. Well, yeah, P8 after this disqualifications, but like 10th on the track.
Yeah, that's true. R.I.P. Joey Logano and Ryan Preece, my Connecticut Kings.
Real, but yeah, it was kind of a
Boo! The Xfinity race was better.
How many times are we gonna say that this season?
Dude, we're gonna say it at least 20 more times. At least. Every race for the rest of the season is going to be worse than the Lover Series. On to predictions. For the Truck Series, you have the SpeedyCash.com 250 on Friday, May 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Jack, who do you have?
We're at Texas Motor Speedway, right? I got
We
the
are at Texas
I got
Motor
the
Speedway.
topical
That is
hat
correct.
today.
You got the hat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll show this out of my head. There's just
Um,
hair.
that's crazy. So as far as things like as far as drivers to pick go, I'm gonna pick one that won here. I think 2 years ago. He's been good when he's been in a Nice truck. This time he's gonna be in a Spire truck. But it's Carson Hocevar, Cup driver coming down for the week to run at Texas.
The man who gave Cletus McFarland a win in iRacing.
All right.
Anyway, I have Corey Heim, aka the GOAT.
Interesting.
You don't count out Corey Heim in any race. We've learned this before. We're gonna learn it again. I have Corey Heim winning the Series race. On to the Xfinity Series race, we have the Andy's Frozen Custard 300. I've never heard of Andy, and I don't know why his custard is frozen. But that is on Saturday, May 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I have... This is going to... Now, I'm going to make a prediction. This is going to be the third undeserving win that he has had this season. I'm going with Austin Hill to win another, the most undeserving win of all time, title. Jack, who do you have?
Man, if only they sponsored the Cup race so I could pick Cole Custard. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to pick his Haas teammate here in Sam Mayer, who I think won this race, albeit with a different team, different manufacturer last year. But I remember a few races ago, I picked either him or one of the other Fords, or like the Fords were kind of picking up steam. We've seen that cool off a little bit in Xfinity, but I think that this will be kind of a get-right race for them, and they'll finally pick up that win.
And now we have our triple header. Our big boy, big girl, big boy triple header for motorsports race. We have...
God. Oh,
what?
I didn't realize that. I mean, yeah, this is kind of a spoiler, but I didn't realize that Miami F1 was going head-to-head with the NASCAR Cup Series. If they're trying to reach out to an American audience, they might not want to do that. Like, why is it that of the races in the U.S., it's like Vegas is at like an ungodly time, and then Miami is a direct overlap with a Cup race? Like, there are other options, you know?
Yeah, there are, and they chose none of them. NASCAR, actually, let's start with the first race that day. The one with no interference from any other motorsport series. We have IndyCar. They have learned from their mistake of trying to have a race during NASCAR. Now, F1's going to learn the same lesson, and next year, IndyCar will be the same time as the F1 races. We're going to learn from years. But there's the IndyCar Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix Sunday, May 4th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I don't know why the Children of Alabama are hosting their own Grand Prix, but they need to cut it out. I have Alex Palou, the GOAT. There's a lot of goats in my mind, and Alex Palou, I mean, there's a lot of sheep too, but Alex Palou is my winner. If you pick anyone else but Alex Palou, you're just wrong. Jack, who do you have?
So, with Alex Palou already being picked, I have the only other guy that's won a race this year in Kyle Kirkwood. I went kind of back and forth on this. I was really tempted to pick a McLaren. Really, I was pretty tempted to pick Pato O'Ward, but I just haven't seen it necessarily this year. I mean, McLaren qualified well previously, but I don't know. In the race, it feels like Palou, really, and Dixon too, and then Kirkwood and the Andretti are kind of a step ahead in race pace. And it's just such a small sample to base it off of. Because the last 2 years, both of them were Scott McLaughlin with Penske. And that's not happening from what we've seen this year.
Penske doo-doo.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go with Kirkwood, and eventually later in the year we'll get a better idea of this, I think.
Yeah. Also on Sunday, obviously, you have the NASCAR Cup Series Worth 400 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I have William Byron, and I'm not happy to pick him, but I'm going to.
I
Jack,
have
who
his
do you have?
teammate in Kyle Larson. This has been a Chevy-dominated track lately. It's kind of an important one for RCR, but I just haven't seen it from them elsewhere enough to pick them, either of those cars. But Larson's won here before. I think Elliott, obviously another Hendrick driver, won there last year. And I am not in the business of betting against Kyle Larson on a mile and a half.
That is very fair. I originally I was thinking Kyle Larson, but I was like, I don't want Kyle Larson to win, so I will pick William Byron. It's gonna be one of the Hendricks, is all I can say. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, you have the Formula One Miami Grand Prix, which is probably gonna have the lowest ratings of the weekend out of the American audience because they are going toe to toe with NASCAR for some reason. But I have the GOAT, Oscar Piastri, your 2025 Formula One World Champion.
I like that pick. I am going to go with his teammate and the reigning winner of this race in Lando Norris.
God, Max.
Well, look. I didn't. So suck it. I have no actual good comeback for that one. I mean, you're probably right. But reigning winner of this race, still good. Obviously had a bit of a rougher stretch. Go with Lando.
He is still good. I have a feeling his confidence is starting to take a freaking dive bomb, dude.
Oh, well, he's admitted it too.
Oh
But,
yeah,
get right,
he
Reece.
is. His confidence is that's why I don't think he. That's why I'm giving Oscar the championship this far into the season. Unless Lando can get his confidence under control, Lando will most likely put up a fight. But right now, if his confidence isn't good, I don't see him having a chance in the next couple of races.
I don't know. I feel like this is a big week for him. It's a track
This
that he's
is.
won at recently.
Yep. First ever
It's a
win.
track that he's done well at. Has good memories at. Let's see if he can... I mean, we'll really be able to tell by qualifying, if we're being honest, where his head's at. But, it could be a get-right week for him, or he could spiral. We'll see.
I'm just hoping that he can put up a fight. That's all I hope. I don't qualify P10. Qualify P5, P4, somewhere in between there, and put up a fight to Oscar. Yeah. That's it for this week. We're under 30 minutes so far. So that's a first. But, finals week.
It is absolutely finals week for me. I am
Finals
in
week
full...
for you. Next week's finals week for me.
I am buried in Microsoft Word right now.
And I am studying my butt off so far, so I have 2 finals done. They're not turned in yet, but they are done. I'm turning them in next week. And then I got my third of 5 classes is done because there's no final, and I got my 6 assignments done. And I just got 2 finals left. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Next week, hopefully there's some more news. I haven't really been paying attention to the news. That's why there wasn't that much news this week, because I have been focusing on school.
Yeah, I mean, it's both kind of a dead-er week with only the 2 NASCAR races.
Yeah.
And both of us have finals, so it's kind of a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing night, or day, or afternoon, or whenever or wherever you're watching this. Jack, do you have any closing thoughts? Send us out on something.
My predictions better be right this week. Otherwise, I'm going to cry. Next week, you're going to see the thumbnail, and it's going to be me sobbing. Tears everywhere.
We can make this happen. I'll get you anyway. We'll make it happen if Jack's predictions are wrong. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day.